If you're standing in the parking lot, eyes scanning the faded white lines that used to guide cars a decade ago, you know the feeling. You want a clean, professional-looking stripe, but you also don't want to spend a fortune on a tool that ends up gathering dust. I get that hesitation. You've probably asked yourself whether a striping kit is really the right investment for a small business, a home gym, or a community park, and whether the promises you see online will actually hold up when you swing it onto the pavement. The last thing you need is another piece of equipment that looks good on a shelf but underdelivers when you need it most. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. What makes the Toro Roller Striping Kit, part number 108-2162, stand out is that it's marketed as a complete solution. That means you get the paint roller, a reservoir for the striping paint, and a set of wheels that claim to give you smooth, even lines with just a few passes. It's a one-stop shop for anyone who's ever wished they could get a crisp driveway line without hiring a contractor. But like any tool, its usefulness depends on who you are and what you expect from it. First, let's talk about the people who will actually get value from this kit. If you're a small-scale operator, think a gym owner who wants to mark out a basketball court, a school caretaker looking to repaint a few parking spaces, or a homeowner wanting a tidy driveway for a dog run. The Toro kit is sized just right. The roller is lightweight enough to be maneuvered by a single person, and the paint reservoir holds enough material for a modest striping job without the need for constant refills. Because the kit is designed for relatively short runs, you'll find the setup quick. You fill the reservoir, adjust the roller to the desired line width, and you're ready to go. In practice, that means a Saturday afternoon can be turned into a noticeable improvement for a community space without bringing in a professional crew. Now, if you're planning something larger, say a full-size parking lot with dozens of spaces, a commercial facility that needs precise, regulation-compliant markings, or a sports complex where line precision is vital, this kit may not be the best fit. The paint capacity, while sufficient for a few lines, will require frequent refilling for extensive projects, and the manual nature of the roller makes maintaining consistent width over long distances more challenging. In those scenarios, a larger, motor-driven striping machine will save you time and provide the uniformity that contractors rely on. When I dug into the few reviews that do exist for this product, the overall sentiment hovered around a cautious middle. With a 3.5-star rating from 39 ratings, people seem to acknowledge that it does the job, but there are a few caveats that matter. One practical strength that shows up repeatedly is the ease of use. Users mention that the handle feels comfortable enough to hold for several minutes, and the wheels roll smoothly on concrete and asphalt without skipping. That smooth roll translates directly into a more even stripe, especially when you're working on a flat surface that isn't cracked or uneven. In a real-world context, imagine you're marking a basketball court. You set the line at the right width, take a few strokes, and the paint deposits evenly, giving you a clean baseline without the dreaded streaked look that cheap rollers often produce. On the flip side, the hidden trade-offs start to appear when you push the kit beyond its intended scope. The paint reservoir can hold only a limited amount, roughly enough for a few hundred square feet of line, so for any job that exceeds that, you'll be stopping to refill more often than you'd like. That interruption can break the flow of your work and potentially lead to inconsistencies in line thickness. Users who tried to use the kit on rough or heavily pitted surfaces reported that the wheels struggled to stay true, causing slight waviness in the stripe. In a practical sense, if your driveway has cracks or you're working on a surface with a lot of debris, you'll need to pre-clean and possibly sand the area to get the best result, which adds an extra step you might not have anticipated. Another point worth noting is the paint compatibility. Toro's kit is designed to work with their own line of striping paint, which is formulated to dry quickly and stick to pavement. However, the kit does not come with the paint itself, so you'll need to purchase the appropriate brand and color separately. This isn't a deal breaker, but it does add a small cost that first-time buyers sometimes overlook. The good news is the paint is readily available at most hardware stores and online, and once you have the right type, the kit's reservoir handles it without spilling. If you mistakenly use a paint that's too thin or not intended for asphalt, you'll notice the roller sputtering and the lines fading faster than expected. Durability is another factor that pops up.